third episode, Life at Night. Who we got here with us today?
WillyMack. WillyMack. I'm a writer, director, Juggalo, all the way. Whoop whoop. It's for all the ninjas there.
All the ninjas.
All the ninjas, all the Juggalos, the family, all of them. That's for them. They know who they are.
So is the Juggalo family, is there a lot of them here in Socorro, or do they have a large presence here? You guys are a family, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. We've been labeled as a gang by the FBI, but no, we're not a gang. We're a family. You know, you ask anybody that's part of the Juggalo family, they're gonna tell you the same thing. We're not a gang. If we were them, if we were a gang, there would be a lot more. You would know more about us than you would the Bloods or the Crips. There's a lot more of us than there are of them. Believe it or not.
Yeah,
We're
you guys
all over
are
the
across
place.
the country and
all over the world.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Why
Why
did the FBI label you guys a gang?
They labeled us a gang because of the way some of us act, you know, but you have to look at it like this too. You have to see, it's just like in normal day life. You have your good boys, you got your bad boys, you got your, it's just like anything else. You know, you just see somebody dressed a certain way, you label them a certain way. You know what I mean? I mean, like, some people will see a cholo walking down the road and automatically assume he's a gangbanger.
Yeah.
You don't know, he could be a senator. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with us. You know, a lot of the people that look at us like that don't realize, you know, a lot of us are your lawyers, your judges, you know, your doctors, your dentist, you know. When you come to us in the hospital, guess what? There's at least one of us in there. At least one of us. We might be the one saving your life and you don't know it. But you're labeling us as something we're not. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
It's all about appearance. You judge something you're afraid of. You see a bunch of clowns walking down the road, what's the first thing you're going to think if they look evil?
Yeah.
Fuck these guys. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, fuck that shit. Not the motherfucker. Like when they had all those clowns popping up in 2016, between 2014 and 2016. Do you remember that?
Yeah, and they were just popping up and scaring people.
Yeah.
Like, you know, oh, these guys are wicked. Well, you know, okay, I can't say that they were Juggalos. Maybe some of them were. You know, maybe a couple Juggalos got together and said, yo, you know, this is going to be funny as hell. Let's do this shit.
Not a single person dressed up as Batman.
Not a single one of them.
Not a single motherfucker was Batman, dude. Like that shit's whack.
Yeah, you know, that's what it is. The FBI just labeled us that way because they look at us that way. That's not who we really are.
And that was created by ICP, right?
Jay and Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope, yeah. They're the ones that really brought it together. They're the godfathers.
Are they the only ones in ICP's a group or a duo?
Well, yeah, you can call them a duo. There's two of them. Without Shaggy, there's no ICP. Without Violent J, there's no ICP.
So how did that all start? Like, did they just like one day, like just their fans decided to call themselves Juggalos, or like where did the name come from?
The Juggalos actually did come from the fans. Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope, they heard them saying it and they were like, well, shit, okay, this is what they want to start calling themselves. That's what we're going to start calling ourselves.
Okay.
You know, so we just started calling ourselves Juggalos. If you ask like Alexa or Google what a Juggalo is, they're going to tell you it's a fan of ICP. But, you know, yeah, that's the top of it.
Like how Eminem has his stands.
Right. You know, and Tech Nine's got his little following. I can't remember the name of what they call themselves. But
they have names too?
Yeah.
Little Niners? No.
Yeah, well, no, that's the thing. You'll hear like Tech Nine people when you hear them yell 9-9 or something like that. You know, it's something along those lines. With Juggalos, it's whoop whoop. You know, you hear whoop whoop, and
I guess it's like that with a lot more underground artists then, huh?
Oh yeah.
Are they still underground ICP?
Oh yeah.
They're still considered that?
Oh yeah, they'll stay underground. They're not. They're not trying to make your radio. They're not, because you know that's all overplayed. With where they sit, they could do what they want, when they want, how they want.
How are they family? Like, what makes them more like? I guess because I hear that too, that they're more, that Juggalos are more family, like one big ass family.
Mm-hmm.
They're not because they're not a gang.
Right.
So like, what makes them more? What, I don't want to say family oriented,
but what makes us feel like we're family?
Yeah, like what what? Yeah, what makes you guys family?
All right. Easiest way to put it like this is, okay, you remember when you were back in high school and you had those kids that everybody picked on?
Yeah.
The dorks, the nerds, the rejects, the scrubs.
Yeah.
Everybody called them scrubs. Oh, look at the scrubs. You don't want to be with the scrubs. That's who we are. We are the scrubs.
Okay.
We're the ones that always got thrown under the bus. We're the ones that, you know, everybody made fun of. We're the
weirdos
ones
playing hacky sack in the corner.
Yeah, you know, we're the ones that sat in the corner, you know, drawing stupid pictures, you know.
Yeah.
We were the ones that the bullies walked down the hallway and kicked our books out of our hands and, like, you know, picked on us for dumb shit. That was us. That was us.
Connected through the music.
Right.
Brought together.
Right, you know, and just listening to the music alone, it tells a story. It tells your story. And that's what brings a lot of people to it, is that, you know, you hear, well, shit, I went through that.
Is your personal story reflected, like, inspired by the music, inspired by the ICP duo themselves, but, like, would you say the story is, like, reflected through the face paint that everybody wears? Because I noticed that, like, everyone's a little different. Like, they don't all follow the same design.
Right.
I mean, some do the exact same design as the two artists.
Right.
But, like, a lot of people have their own. You have your own, too, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, does that reflect something about yourself, about your story when you put your makeup on and go to, like, an event?
No, it just makes me feel original. You know, how many people I mean, you might even run into a few people that paint their face the same way that you do and you didn't realize it. You know, It just makes you see, okay, well, shit, you know, I have that connection now with this person. You know what I mean? They look at shit kind of the same way I do. That's cool.
Is there any other artists out there that, like, paint their face like that? Like, or Juggalo's the only ones, the only fans of these? Like, I don't know any other artists that have their fans, like, not have their fans, but whose fans paint their faces and stuff and kind of follow that.
Kiss.
Like, that's a Juggalo thing.
Kiss does it.
Yeah?
Kiss has fans that'll paint their faces up. Just because Kiss does it.
And Kiss is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's cool. That's pretty dope.
You know, we just represent the wicked clowns. It's really all it is. I mean, and it's not even really that. I mean, it goes deeper than that even with the music. If you listen to the first set of the Joker's cards, there's a message through those cards. Each card represents a different thing that happened.
First set of the Joker's cards was that? Is that the band? Not the band. The album? Or
well, yeah,
like what is that?
When ICP first started out, they had a set of Joker cards that they were dropping, and every few years they would drop a new card, and that card would represent something different. Like, it's the first deck of cards, the Joker cards represent something that might even be going on in your life. Each one is a different layer, and at the end of it, you find out what it's all about. A lot of Juggalos got pissed off when the last card dropped because they found out, and Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope said it themselves, that the last card that dropped was God. Their message is being brought through God. Believe it or not, they are not this hated, like, evil group that everybody plays them out to be. The message that they're putting behind it is, if you do this, expect this. You do this, this is what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. There's actually one song that really breaks it down like that. I can't remember the damn song. It's like, it talks about, like, well, you see your life as you're walking into your house and your kids are getting along just great and your wife loves you and this, but what you're not seeing is your reality is you're walking into your house, your wife can't stand your ass, you're knocking her teeth out because you're a dick, you're a drunk, you're a dick, your kids are selling crack to each other, and, well, you know, they're going to end up being worse off than what they are now. And you're not seeing that. And you're not going to realize it until after you die and look back at everything that's being flashed in front of your eyes and being like, well, shit, I'm the one who fucked up. I'm not going to make it to Shangri-La because of these reasons that God is showing me now. If I want to make it to Shangri-La, I better start acting like a decent person. I better start doing what I'm supposed to. Shangri-La, it's heaven. Shangri-La's heaven.
Where does that word come from, though? Like, Shangri-La, is that like where is that, like, like some kind of language or something, or like where's?
No,
it,
it's a
that?
place. It's his place. It's heaven. It's another word for heaven. It's like, okay, you have different layers of heaven. Yeah. Shangri-La is where the juggalos will sit because that's the most peaceful part of heaven.
I'm gonna sound real stupid right now. Is that like created by juggalos? Like
no,
that term?
No, you can
word?
actually look Shangri-La up. And this is, and it'll tell you the meaning of it. It'll tell you what Shangri-La really is.
So with that,
for us, it means heaven. It's a layer of heaven. It's a stage.
Why do the juggalos go there? Like, is it specific to juggalos?
No, it's specific to anybody. Anybody is welcome in Shangri-La. Our whole message about being a juggalo is don't hate, don't be a bigot. Mm-hmm. Love everybody. Everybody's a little bit prejudiced against something.
Yeah.
And it's about learning how to let that go. And that's the message that they're trying to get across is don't be a dick because you think you could be a dick. Mm-hmm. Try to love everybody. There's no reason for you to be a bigot. Why are you being one? Where's it going to get you? What would God say if you were sitting down in front of him and you told God that you were a bigot? What would God tell you? That's the message that they're trying to get across. It's not, we're going to go around and kill you. It's, don't be a bigot. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
Try to love everybody. I mean, think about this for a minute, okay? You're at a gathering of the juggalos, okay? Biggest concert you're ever going to see in the world. You want to see a shitload of juggalos? You want to find out what the juggalo family's about? Go to the gathering. You're going to see everything that you never thought you would. You're going to see people laughing. You're going to see people having fun. You're going to see people enjoying each other's time. Yeah, you might have a few fuck-ups that are in there and they're doing some dumb shit.
Well, what family doesn't have a few fuck-ups?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What family doesn't have their black sheep?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But at every gathering that they've had, they have never had to bring law enforcement into it. Why? Because the law enforcement makes you think, okay, well, the law's standing right there. If I want to smoke this joint, I got to be all fucking secret about it. When you start doing shit like that, it starts bringing on other bullshit. Mm-hmm. So, you don't want law enforcement there. They have their own way of doing it. But if you can get 15,000 people together, 15,000 people in the same area, and not one fight break out for 3 days, you must be doing something right.
Yeah.
I mean,
so that's family right there then. That's cool, man.
That's our family reunion. That's why we get everybody together on these gatherings.
Do you go to those often?
I have never been to one. I would love to go to one. I've heard so much about them from so many different people. Mm-hmm. I've watched the videos online with them. I've watched the interviews with Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope about it. It seems like something I would love to do.
Do they go to them too?
Oh, yeah. They're the highlights of it. They're the highlights of it. Without them, you don't have the gathering. And a lot of people thought because at the last gathering that they did, Violent J announced that he wasn't going to be going on the road that much because of the simple fact that he's getting older.
Yeah.
We're talking about a guy now that's like in his almost mid-50s, if not already in his mid-50s, and is still partying like he was 20. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's taking a toll on him.
Yeah, so he made an announcement saying that he's not going to be on the road that often, that he is going to do tours, but not as often as they want. And they thought, okay, well, that means that he's going to stop doing the gatherings. That means the gatherings are done. They're over. Who the hell's going to want to come to a gathering if ICP ain't going to be there?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And he made it clear to him, he was like, no, that's not going to happen. Every time we do one of these, I will be here. Me and Shaggy both will be here. So they've made that promise to the Juggalos. And if Jay says he's going to do something, Jay does it. I haven't seen him say something and not do it.
That's cool.
And that's just from my point. I mean, if he doesn't want to do something for you, he'll tell you straight out. If I called him up and said, hey, Jay, we want you to come down and do this interview with us. Chances are he'd be like, yeah, you guys can piss off on that. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to, but if it's something that has to do with him and his business and what they do, yeah, he's going to do what he can to make his fans happy, make his family happy, It's just who he is.
That's crazy. That, like crazy in a good way, have all these people all under, the same umbrella, kind of just all seeming to be devoted to the same thing,
to the same cause.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. In some, I might fuck it all up right now, but in some ways that sounds a little bit like what religion is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
because there's a lot, it seems like I mean, from what you're saying, it sounds like they're very accepting people.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of being a juggalo. You know, you don't want to judge somebody for something they are or what they're not. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at it this way. You can even see it this way too. Okay, you remember when all the car factories in Detroit were falling down?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were all going out of business and all that. And everybody was like wondering how in the hell they were going to pay their bills, how in the hell they were going to get through, and all that. ICP took $10,000 or $10 million of their own money that they earned out of their own pockets and gave it back to the city of Detroit to help these families out. Yet, they're the most hated band in the world.
Hated because...
Because of who they are.
Wow.
Yeah.
It sounds like people aren't really trying to listen to
who they are at all. Yeah, they don't want to, and that's what I'm saying. You always fear something you don't know, and that's what they've done. They fear ICP so bad that they're like, holy shit, no, these guys are horrible. They're Satan worshipers. No, we need to get them out of here. And it's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. They're here to help somebody. They will. I mean, they do Toys for Tot drives. All kinds of stuff. I mean, they do what they can to help their communities. And they want to point that message towards every juggalo. If you can help out somebody, do it. I'm not telling you to dump your pocket out and be like, here, take everything I have. But if you can help somebody out, do it. Show the love.
That's cool to hear. Well, for me, it's a fresh perspective on it. Because... like when I was in high school, and I had heard about like I think the first time I've ever heard of a juggalo, I was probably like maybe 15, 16, and my brother, he was wearing an ICP shirt. It was given to him. We didn't know who ICP was or anything like that, but he was just wearing the shirt to school. And I remember these kids, they like ran up on him and like beat him up, and they tore the shirt off of him. And, you know, you hear all the whoop whoop and all that. And they're saying, like, if you don't know what it is, and don't wear it and whatever. And that was my first experience with any... And they were kids, you know. They were children. But that was my first experience hearing about a juggalo and what a juggalo was supposed to be. So for a good minute of my life, whenever I heard about a juggalo, that I just had that one experience.
Right.
So I was just like... Nah, fuck that. I was like, nah, they're like a gang or trying to be or wannabes, because I hadn't heard of a juggalo at all.
Right.
But then I you know, continue to grow up, and then I hear like, wait a second, my uncle was a juggalo? What the fuck? Like, you're a juggalo? Like, and like y'all just start popping up out of nowhere. Yeah. And it's just normal people, man. They're just normal fucking dudes, and like, you know, like just normal, like hard, like I never, it was just that one experience, man. That's all it took for me to like just to be like really stupid about it. I had an attitude towards it, like just like, nah.
Well, you know, and with good reason on that. I mean, but see here with that too, you have to, I'm not going to say understand, because you really don't have to understand. It was kind of fucked up they did that in the first place, but
they were kids though,
yeah,
you know
they were. It's still kind of fucked up that it went down like that. But the thing is, though, too, you have people out there that will claim they're a juggalo and say they're a juggalo and they're down with the clown and all that. And then whenever you start asking them, like, certain stuff about, like, even certain records or even about the family itself, and they can't answer those questions, it's like, okay, dude, you're not a juggalo, but you're going around telling everybody you are. Mm-hmm. You know, don't say, you know, that's why I call them ninjas. Ninjas, to me, are juggalos in training. You're still learning what's going on with the family. You're still learning like what it is to be a juggalo, what it's about, you know.
Do all older juggalos, like, they know that's what a ninja is?
Yeah, well, a lot of the ones I hang out with, they do. You know, a lot of the ones that I know, that's how they look at it too. Is okay. Well, you're a ninja. You're a juggalo in training. You're not saying that you're not family, because we all ninjas. And like, you know, I've told ninjas that are like 20, 30-year-old juggalos that have been in it as long as I have, I'll still call them ninjas. You'll see me sometimes whenever I'm at work and I'm talking to my buddy, like, I'll look at him, what's up, ninja? You know what I mean? That's just how I say hi to my juggalos. And there's been a few times where he'll look at me and be like, yo, dude, I ain't no ninja. I made it to juggalo, you know. what's up, dude? No.
If
don't
you're talking
do
about
that.
who I think you're talking about, it's interesting because I see them too and their growth.
Yeah.
And how they're really becoming more expressive about being a juggalo now.
Yeah.
Like it's really showing now than it was like even like 6 months ago. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, well, and that's what it takes. Sometimes you just have to have other juggalos that are around you a little bit to be able to say, yo, don't be afraid to say who you are, dude. There's nothing wrong with it. You're a juggalo. Be proud of that. Own it.
Yeah.
Own it.
If you need to take some of that out, you can use that.
Don't be afraid to say, hey, I'm a juggalo, but I'm not going to be standing up for that. You know what I mean? That's what I mean by fuglos, and that's what I call them, fake-ass juggalos, so I call them fuglos. If you ever see me talking about anybody and you hear me go, man, that motherfucker's a fuglo, it's because he says he's down with the clown, but he don't know shit about it. You know what I mean?
So, like, to be down with the clown, is that, like, you listen to their music, you're a genuine fan, you just love their shit, and you just kind of go by, like, what everything you're talking about, peace, love, positivity.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
being cool.
You want to be a juggalo, the easiest way to go about being a juggalo is just start showing it. You start showing me, okay, well, yeah, I'm down with the clown, whoop, whoop, hey, I see you, bro. I see you, homie.
Yeah.
Hey, oh, shit, dude, you look like you're struggling a little bit with that. Here, you want my help with that right fast? I got you, G. Why? You're part of my family. I'm going to do what I can to help my family. See, everybody thinks family's all blood. Oh, well, this is my family because, I was born into it.
Yeah.
That's a great thing about being a juggalo. I could pick who's my family. Do I have brothers and sisters? I do. Do I talk to them? Hell no. Why? Because they don't understand me and I don't want to understand them. If you haven't gotten me by now, go do your thing. Leave me the hell alone. Let me do mine.
Yeah.
That's what it's gotten to. That's why I like what happens with the Juggalo family. You could pick your family. Pick your family. It's nice. It really is. My daughter, it's funny because there's a story that goes with that. When I met my daughter, she was 16 years old, okay? She didn't know I knew anything about ICP. She didn't know I knew anything about the family. She didn't know
You said when you met your daughter?
When I met her, yeah. My daughter, when she was born, I wasn't allowed to be around her. So I didn't get to actually know who my daughter was until she turned 16 and decided that she wanted to meet Daddy. And hit me up, and we decided, okay, let's get together and meet. But the day that I met her, she didn't realize that I was a juggalo, and I didn't know that she knew anything about it because her family's Mormon. So I figured they would have kept her away from that.
Yeah.
And I ran into her, and we were talking, and when I met her, she was wearing a Twisted t-shirt. And at the time, Twisted was part of the Juggalo family. It's a whole nother thing. I don't want to get into that because I'm going to say some stupid shit, and before I know it, I'm going to get sued. I'll have a letter in the mail from Twisted suing my ass.
I don't think the podcast is that important. We got about 3 listeners.
But she was wearing a Twisted shirt, and I threw a whoop whoop at her, and she threw one right back at me. And she came over to me later that night, and she told me, she goes, "How long have you been a part of the family?" And I told her, I said, "Since 1996." And she looked at me and she goes, "So since before I was born?" I looked at her, I said, "Yeah." She tells me, she goes, "Well, I think I really am your daughter." And I told her, I said, "Well, I really think you're my daughter too, because there's no way you would have gotten those genetics and not knowing,
Yeah.
It's kind of cool that you follow the same family basis that I do, Right away we clicked after that.
So you guys get along and everything?
Yeah, she knew exactly what it meant to be a juggalo right from the jump. She looks at everything the same way I do on that same front. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the juggalos that I know from in Edgewood and Moriarty and Mountain Air and all that, they look at being a juggalo the same way I do. The juggalos I've met here, they look at it the same way I do.
Are juggalos any different depending on where you go? Like, if you've been have you ever been out of state? Meet juggalos somewhere else?
I've been out of state, but whenever I left state, I decided it was probably a good idea to kind of hang low on the whole juggalo thing. So I didn't really tell anybody anything about it. But there was an ICP show that happened. It was right down the street from where I used to live in New York. And I walked outside to see what was going on because I was hearing all kinds of hollering and everything. And when I walked outside, I seen a bunch of juggalos scrapping it out with the cops and with themselves and all that other bullshit. Like straight up full out blown fucking riot. Like they went to yeah, dude, it was unbelievable the shit that I was watching. I was like, shit, dude. I found out later that it was an ICP Twisted show, and I was like, oh shit, okay, that's why that shit went down like that. The cops went out there and they started their bullshit with the juggalos because they were out there whoop whooping and family, family, and the cops thought it was something bigger than what it was and started a bunch of shit with them. Funny thing was, Randy Travis was supposed to perform at the same place where they were at that night, doing the, you know.
He was going to perform at the same place?
At the same place, but the next night.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, like, what the...
And when he saw the riot outside, he looked at his bus driver and told him, fuck that, cancel the tour, I'm the fuck out of here. So he didn't end up performing at all that whole concert series. He canceled his shit right away.
That's funny.
But yeah, you know, it depends on where you go, really. I mean, like, it depends on where you go. It depends on some of the juggalos you meet. Because like I've said, you know, in certain areas, you got certain people that act certain ways around certain people. You know.
So
what I mean?
You're a seasoned juggalo then, right? You've been since 1996.
Yeah.
So I just gotta ask, and this is a stupid ass fucking question, but I want to know from a juggalo's perspective. What was all that shit with ICP and Eminem? I seen that dude fucking throw out a dildo with a painted face to the crowds, and then they were like remixing Eminem song and saying some shady fuck Dre's butt or whatever.
Like, Slim Anus. That shit was awesome.
So what's the deal with that? What happened? Like briefly, like if you could, like okay. How do you feel about that?
I think the whole thing is funny as hell. All right, if you want the story on it, it's not real long at all, but I can tell you this came straight out of Violent J's book that he wrote. It's called Behind the Face Paint. Right? And he talks about this whole situation, which is really great. I guess what happened was there was a big-ass, like, I guess you could say convention thing that was going on where rappers were getting together and, like, handing out shit and, like, trying to get their shit out there, you know, trying to get noticed. And what happened was Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope walked into the convention, right? And this kid runs up to him and hands him a flyer. And he says, here, check this out, you know? And Violent J took the shit and he's looking at it. And on the flyer it says, featuring Eminem, somebody else, and ICP. And maybe ICP. Right?
Yeah.
So Violent J looked at him and he told him, he said, now, what the fuck, dude? Why are you putting this on your flyer saying that we're going to do your show when we never agreed to this? Nobody called us. Nobody called, you know, our assistants. Nobody got a hold of us. You know, what the fuck, dude? You're putting this out there and now all our juggalos are going to think that we're, you know, doing this shit. And when they show up here and find out that we're not, like, you guys are going to have a problem. Like, you don't realize what the fuck you're doing, dude. You're going to fuck this. No, dude. You're going to fuck my name up on this.
And Juggalo's probably going to get pretty pissed and start a real riot.
Right. And that's what Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope were concerned with. And the kid looked at him and he says, well, you know, it doesn't say that. It just says that you might be. And he goes, no, dude. You quit handing these fucking flyers out, dude. We're not doing your show. Turns out that kid was Eminem that was handing out the flyers. And Eminem took it the wrong way. And since they dissed Eminem straight to his face, Eminem figured, okay, when I start coming up, watch what I do to these motherfuckers because they're never going to make my level when I do come up. And that's what started the beef.
Do you think he was right about that?
Well, if you ask Violent J now, Violent J will tell you straight out that he thinks that Eminem is one of the greatest rappers. He will tell you that now. But at the time, Eminem thought he was a bullshit punk kid that just lived like a few blocks away from them. And that was his issue with him. Like, how are you going to come up like that, dude, and just start running your mouth like you fucking know the streets better than what we do? You know, I mean, come the fuck on, dude. You grew up 2 blocks that were lower than where we were at, and where we were at was more hood than what you're singing about, dude. So, you know, for real, get off your shit because you're not who you think you are.
Do 2 blocks really make that big of a difference?
It does. Because in the book he explains, you know, like, they grew up, okay, like, he grew up on 8 Mile. Okay, just like he says in his movie and all that bullshit. Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope lived on 11.
Mm-hmm.
So 11 was 11 Mile Road was a lot worse than 8 Mile Road. But he tried to make 8 Mile Road, from what I understand, look like it was like 12 or 13 Mile Road, which is the worst area.
And these are all just a few blocks apart?
Yeah. And it's like, it's weird. It's like the further up you go, the worse it gets. The further you are, or the closer you are to the city, everything's nicer. And that's the way that Jay explains it. The further up you live, the poorer you are. The closer to the city you live, the richer you are. He was in the middle.
Oh, okay.
You know, so he was trying to make it look like more than what it was. And even Eminem's mom said that he was full of shit whenever he went on there and said that she was doing drugs and selling her ass and all that other bullshit. She sued him over it.
Mm.
You know? And that was the point that he was trying to make was, dude, if you're going to say you're real, act real. But on Violent J's side of things, they had a friend of theirs that was in the studio, and he decided that he wanted to like sing like Eminem. He could do a perfect imitation of Eminem. So he just started blurting out verses, and then Jay looked at him and said, oh my God, we ought to make that into a song and put it to the beat of fucking Slim Shady. Oh, so man. He went into the studio and made Slim Anus. See,
when I first heard that, first ever, I was like, are they collaborating? Like, I was like, is Eminem making fun of himself? Like, because I thought it was possible because like Eminem he said shit about himself anyways, and he said that he killed Dr. Dre and whatever, you know. So I was like, it's not so far fetched, you know, like maybe. But then I found out, I was like, nah, there was
a feud, yeah.
Yeah, there was actual beef between these guys.
Oh yeah.
But I've only ever like heard it like that. But that's interesting. That's very stupid, man. Like,
yeah, and that's what Violent J said after he realized the whole thing was retarded. He said, you know, I don't even know why the fuck that thing even became an issue. He laughs about it in the book and says, you know, the whole fucking thing was stupid. And now they'll even ask him in interviews now about it, you know, do you still feel the same way about Eminem you did back then? And he'll tell them straight out, no, to be honest with you, Eminem is a great rapper. You know, at the time he was just a little punk that thought he could push us, and we weren't letting him do it. You know, they let Disney do it for a minute. They let fucking Sony do it for a minute, and they finally had a point
ICP
where they
had a thing with Disney?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah. ICP, Disney owned one of their albums for a while.
How and why? What?
Disney owned a company called Jive Records. Jive Records signed a contract with ICP and told ICP, you have all rights to do whatever you want with your music. It's all yours. Do what you want. They wrote the Great Malenko album the day that it dropped on the shelves. Disney walked in and said, no, you don't. And pulled it. Told ICP straight the fuck out. You're not releasing it. So Violent J and his whole fucking team had to fight with Jive Records to get out of their contract so they could start their own record label. That's why you won't hear them on today's radio. They even actually talk about how bullshit MTV is. You remember TRL?
No, I don't.
Oh, you were probably too young for that. It was called. There was a show on MTV that was called Total Request Live, and back in, I think it was 96, 97, one of their songs was voted on TRL. But because Christina Aguilera was dropping a new album, they decided that they weren't going to play the video that was picked and play Christina Aguilera's video. Now, the only reason that ICP knew that it was their video that got picked was because they told all the Juggalos on their website, go in and vote for this song. We want to make TRL. We want to get on MTV. This is what we're trying to do. There's only one song, one music video you will ever find of ICP on MTV. That they will do. And that was Let's Go All the Way. That's the only one you'll find. That's the only music video that you'll find on MTV from ICP. And the only reason that you'll find Let's Go All the Way on there was because at that time, Let's Go All the Way was one of the most common videos that ICP had.
Wasn't all wild and crazy like
Yeah,
that?
it wasn't like let's go murder a bunch of people and like put their heads on posts and march down the street. It wasn't like anything like that. It was a wicked clown parade. Was the whole video. And it was just talking about, you know, quit having people push you around and let's do this. Let's go all the way. That was the whole point of the song. It was an all positive song all the way through it. Quit taking everybody's shit and go all the way. Stop being a bitch and go all the way. You know, it was pretty much the point of it. But
is that a song that, like, what's your favorite song by ICP?
There's a few of them. There's a few of them. The one that hit me the most was when on their latest on one of the albums that they did a few years ago from it's Furious Fred, and the song is it's what's the name of it? It's All My Fault, or All My Fault, or some shit like that. And the reason that song hit was because the way that Jay goes through it and the way that he sings it is exactly how I felt at that time. So I kind of keep that song close to me because I really like that one. Another one that they did was Miracles. Miracles was one of the greatest songs I think they ever did, but a lot of people didn't like it because, again, it went on the religious part of how ICP isn't down with Satan, that they're, you know, 100% with God.
Yeah.
You know, look at the back of any ICP case. It says dedicated to the butterfly because Jay accidentally killed a butterfly when he was a kid. So he dedicates every album he does to the butterfly.
Man, so ICP runs a little deeper than I ever really thought. That's cool. So, man, I want to ask you, with the whole, I guess with everything with Juggalos and ICP and stuff, and does any of that, or maybe scenes from songs? I'm good. Does any of that influence the way you write your projects, your scripts and stuff?
Yeah, I do. In a way it does, yeah, because a lot of the time when I'm writing like a movie, it depends on the type of movie that I'm writing, you know, but I try to find a part of me that says, okay, you know, what can I use that I think is funny when I get high that I think other people will laugh at. I also think about to myself too, I don't want to take this in a direction to where if another Juggalo sees this, they look at it and go, wow, this dude is fucking whack. You know what I'm saying? I want them to be able to look at it, and when they get done watching that movie, they can go, you know, that is one funny-ass ninja, dude. I'm glad that motherfucker's in this kind of shit, and he is who he is. You know what I mean? You know, I keep everything on the real. I'm not going to bullshit anybody just to make them feel good. I'm going to tell you what's on my mind. I'm going to tell you how I think it is, and if I think it's funny, then great. If you don't, then let me know so I can write it to the way that you want it to be funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just that kind of guy with it when it comes to that kind of thing.
You're doing a couple projects right now, and are you mostly the writer because you're working with Corey, right? And Corey, I know he has a lot of the hardware and stuff. So, but you do most of the writing, or you guys both collaborate on it? Like, how does that work when you guys get together to make a story?
Well, you know, like with the first project that we started working on, Corey came to me and told me that he was looking for somebody to write the script for it. He wanted to hear the story and how it went down. And I told him, I said, okay, well, how about this? You give me pretty much what you want it to be about, and I'll write the story, and you can tell me what you think. And he told me what he wanted it based on because I figured, okay, well, this is your project. You know, you want me to write your movie, dude. Tell me what it's about.
Yeah.
You know, don't put the whole thing on me and just say, okay, well, this is what I got from you here. That doesn't make it your story. That makes it mine. You see what I'm saying? So I told him, I said, give me the guidelines on what you want in it. Tell me what you want. Tell me what, you know, what areas you think that it would look good in. Tell me what you want your story to be, and then I'll write it. So he gave me some ideas, and I told him, I said, okay, I'll take it from there. I think I can handle this. I wrote out the first couple scenes. I showed it to him. He liked it. It started showing his vision. And then I tell him, okay, great. Now, what do you think about this? Let me tell you my part of the story and tell me if you think it's what you're thinking of. You're the main director on this, so tell me, am I matching your vision?
Yeah.
And that's how we work it out with that.
Oh, okay. So you guys are, a lot of communications involved. And do you guys go through times where basically, where you're going through a couple days just writing, and he's somewhere else, and then you gotta like mail it back to him or whatever? Like, do you guys ever, like, or are you guys always together?
No, well, a lot of the time when I do a lot of the writing, I won't let it go out of my sight, pretty much. Which means if he wants to see it, fine, I'll show it to you. But you need to either show up in a spot where I know that you're getting the information, so I can see it when I email it to you, or you can look at it right on my screen. You know what I'm saying? The only reason I do it that way is because I don't want part of the I don't want part of the script to get slipped. And if something like that happens and somebody else finds out that what we're doing and they get a better idea of what we're doing, then they steal our idea. And now a movie that him and I have been working on for 3-4 years goes in a different direction, and we're not getting anything out of the idea.
Do you guys have a complete story now?
We have a complete story. It's not all completely written out, but we do have a complete story.
So, how are you guys? And you guys are going to be filming soon. Like, when are you guys filming?
I want to start doing it more in the spring. I think it'd be easier to do it more in the spring, more in the summertime, just because of the simple fact it's easier on the actors, it's easier on me, it's easier on him. Some of the scenes are done outside for, what's going to end up being probably an all-day project. I don't want a bunch of people out there freezing their ass off, because believe it or not, right now, if you're working on this movie with us, you're doing it because you have faith in it. You're not looking for a paycheck. You're just knowing that, this might hit something.
Yeah.
And if it does, you may get paid. Like I told everybody that has been involved with the project.
Are you guys going to put it on YouTube and stuff?
Yeah, kind of get it recognized, see if somebody will pick it up. Cobra Kai did that. That's how they started.
Yeah, they started on YouTube. Dude, I forgot about that. They actually started on YouTube, huh?
Yeah, and then they got picked up by Netflix.
Yeah.
We have a couple TV series that we want to start working on. Joseph wants me to start working with him on a little cartoon series that he wants to start doing. He wants to do all the drawings for it and all that. He just wants me to draw up the script and all that for it. So yeah, there's a bunch of things that are starting to fall into place, and it's kind of like, okay, well, let's see what goes on with this first.
Hell yeah! And you guys are doing. What are you guys doing today?
As far as I know, all we're doing is a little bit of writing and maybe some editing. He wants to do some filming, but I don't know what kind of filming he wants to do.
Are you guys going to star in it?
Probably, because he's been talking about doing skits for our show that we do.
Oh yeah, with your podcast. That's right. What's that called again?
Trash Talk.
Trash Talk. You guys are on Facebook?
Yeah.
How many episodes did you guys do on that? Or you guys stream, right?
Yeah, we stream it live.
Okay.
So far, we've only done one, but that's only because both our schedules have gotten kind of interfered.
Yeah.
Some things went down with him at work, and he ended up leaving for a minute, so he had to go and do his own thing to make sure that he could provide what he needed to for his family. So, we kind of put our show on hold because of that. But we're slowly getting back into everything else, and our show will get back on the air here.
I really hope so, man. You guys got a lot of ideas. I've heard some pretty cool things out behind the recording or whatever, behind the episodes. And dude, you guys got some really good ideas. Yeah, I'm excited, really.
Dude, yeah, there's some skits that he wants to do, so I'm imagining that's probably what he wants to do today, is just try to get a couple of them shot out, because we have an idea for a few of them,
You guys do characters and stuff, right?
Yeah.
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 Do you guys do accents and everything, like the whole, become a different person? Because you guys are actually, acting, right?
Yeah. We'll be playing, one role, and then we'll play, into another role that has to deal with the same role that we were... It's hard to explain. It's something you have to see us when we're doing. It's great.
Our first episode... Would you ever dress as a woman?
No.
You act as a woman?
No, I won't. If he wants to, that's great, but I won't. That's one thing.
That'd be hilarious, though, Medea or... or Big Mama's house or something, like do like create a character like that.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, if we did do something like that, he would try to talk me into being the woman just because he'd want to do it like racial, you know what I mean? Like he'd want to switch the roles on it. And then that's what it would end up being, is something like that. Because his wife actually told him at one point, she was like, I don't understand how you guys can sit in the same room and talk so much shit about each other the way you guys do, and you guys being friends.
You guys are homies though, right? You guys are
brothers. We're so close and homies like that. But she goes, I swear to God, you don't like white people, and he sure as fuck don't like black people, and it's funny to watch you guys. And we looked at her and we told her, we said, that's not true at all. I told her straight out, I love this guy like he's my brother. You know, I do. I love working with Corey because he has the same sense of humor that I do, and if I want to flip the script on something like that, he's all about doing it, you know. I tried to talk him into doing whiteface just because I thought it'd be fucking hilarious. I told him, I said, we ought to do that and see how many people we could piss off. And he goes, the only way I'll do that is if you do blackface. And I was like, dude, no, that'll get us canceled. Like, there's been a lot of shit that I've had to
killed. Yeah.
There's a lot of shit that I had to tell him, dude, no, we can't do that because if we do this, dude, it's putting my shit online, dude. And no, dude, I'm not, no. you know?
It's one thing to take risks, but
it's a whole nother thing to fucking like go beyond somebody's beliefs like that and like really piss off like just not one person, dude, but you're talking about a whole grip of people. Like,
I mean, you know, he probably feels the same way about doing whiteface.
Like,
like he probably feels like, I don't know.
No, but I told him, I said, the funny thing about it is you're more likely to get away with it than what I would be, because there's nothing, you know, the way that everybody's looking at everything now, white people are racist all the way around. Like, I mean, I've seen other like black TikTokers out there saying the same thing that I'm saying right now, that there's black people that aren't taking the responsibility of shit that they need to. You know what I'm saying? And I told him, I said, with that being today's America, you could do whiteface, and all you're going to get is a bunch of people laughing at you about it. Mm-hmm. I was like, that's really what's going to happen.
Yeah, like you get Snoop Dogg and I can't remember who else, but Snoop Dogg's the one that comes to mind because he does that character, or he did that character a few times, where he do the makeup like he's a white guy and do the different hair and stuff. He actually kind of looked like a white old lady to me. Yeah.
Dave Chappelle. Look at Dave Chappelle.
Oh yeah, he did it too. Yeah.
You know, he did the same thing. He played a blind guy that was black. That was the leader of the KKK. Now try to play that now. You might get a few people that are going to get a little pissed off about it, but you know, a lot. He made America laugh with that. There were a lot of people that thought that shit was funny as hell. Because in his character, he didn't know he was black. And then when he found out he was black at the end of the skit, it says that he divorced his wife because she liked black people. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
But I told him, I said, it'd be easier for you to cross that line than what it would be for me. People would take it the way I do it, as a big racial thing. I'd get shot before I got home.
Yeah, that's man, yeah. No, it's weird that it's like that. That it's like basically white people are villains today. Like no matter, like a straight white male is an automatic bad guy.
If you support
for a lot of people.
If you support America, you're a bad guy.
You think so?
Oh yeah, dude. I've seen TikToks where people have said, if you're flying an American flag, that's a new, what did they say? How did they say it? That's a new rebel flag. You can't fly the American flag? Yeah. If you have an American flag in front of your house, you're a racist.
Who's saying this?
Look at your TikToks.
I don't know. I don't go on TikTok.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of people out there that are fucking pissed off at the American flag. They want it done. They want it out. This country ain't what it used to be.
Why do you think that is? You think it is because...
Honestly, I think it's because people stop believing in God.
Yeah?
I really think that's a problem. That's another reason why I'm glad I'm a Juggalo. Because I've been hearing this shit my whole life. Just listening. Look around. Pay attention. Nobody here wants to believe in God anymore.
I blame the internet personally.
That's a big part of it.
But yeah, I think there's a lot of self-hate going on in our country. A lot of people who just don't love themselves. And they don't know how to love other people, and then that just creates a whole lot of crap that just gets thrown around, and a lot of it starts up a lot of bullshit and a lot of drama.
A lot of people that want to hate on each other for no damn reason.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. Okay, you know, I have my beliefs, and I have, you know, that's a whole nother subject for a whole nother thing. You know what I mean? But I believe you got to believe in something. And when you stop believing in something, that's when chaos starts breaking out. And that's what's happening. A lot of the people are saying, well, if God was real, he would have already done this. Well, if God was real, he would have already done that. If God was real and he saw the way things are going now, he'd make some kind of presence. Not necessarily.
No, God gave us free will. We're doing it all to ourselves. It's up to us to fix our own problems, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's not saying that God doesn't exist. It's just saying that
He's allowing things to be. He's allowing us to be.
Yeah, he's saying right now they need to work out their own bullshit. They'll realize that I'm real whenever I come back here, and then I'll be looking at him going, yo, dude, for real? I told you all I was coming back. I made you that promise. But everybody's losing faith on that. Everybody's losing faith on it because they think now it's all a bunch of crap.
I think it goes in cycles. I think we're just in that phase where we're kind of losing our way, and something's going to come around that brings us right back out of it.
I hope
forces
so.
us to show our true colors in the time when we really need to. Like
I really hope so.
From what I understand, like when we went through the Great Depression, war got us out of that. Mm-hmm. But before the Great Depression, what was it, like the Roaring 20s, where everybody was getting lit and everyone was using credit and buying every little thing, and then everything went downhill, and then before it got better, it got a lot worse because we ended up going to war, and then we ended up getting out of it, and we're America again. You know, I think something like that. I don't know if it's going to be war or something, but I think something big is going to happen that forces people to wake up, kind of.
Well, you know, and I think that's what's going to happen too, because there's going to come a time, like you were just saying, you know, another war is only on its way. I mean, look around you. Mm-hmm. Pay attention to the news. Pay attention to everything that's been going on. It's not going to be much longer until World War III starts. You know, I just hope that after that whole thing is over with and everybody realizes, okay, this is what it is now, everybody can just calm the fuck down. Just relax. You know, right now, what are we even doing now? You know, I mean, come on. This war, it was going to happen. It's the easiest way for me to say it. It was going to happen. It was going to happen.
The war, like what's going on right now?
Yeah, it was going to happen. And there was no way of getting around it. It was going to happen.
With everything, what is it, with Palestinians and Israel, and I feel like, from what, I don't understand everything that's going on with it. I don't really know. Like, if I had to pick a side, I don't really know who I would choose, because I hear on one side, the Palestinians, they have all of their base of operations, all their weapons, all their stuff underneath hospitals and public spaces. So when Israel went and I guess they bombed the hospital and smoked everybody out and mowed everybody down at all entrances. They're killing innocent people for what? To get to what's underneath the hospital? Killing children and women and people that are really not doing anything necessarily bad. They're normal citizens, you know, but they're doing it to get what's underneath the building. So it's like, and I mean, I keep hearing even that isn't true. That's not what happened. But then on the other side, I hear like Palestinians, like people that I follow, artists or whatever, people that are of Palestinian descent, or they are from from wherever Palestinians are from. But like, and they're talking about like their perspective and what's going on and what their family's telling them that live out there or whatever. And anything that I hear about Israel, I'm hearing it through news. I'm not hearing from people who are from Israel or people who have family there like I do the Palestinians. So like I'm hearing like innocent people were needlessly murdered, and Israel feels like they're right. Palestinians feel like they should be helped. But then from what I understand, it's like America is on Israel's side. It really feels like we should be on Palestinian side, or that we should be helping the people of Palestine.
The way that I feel about it is we shouldn't even be involved in it in the first damn place.
Yeah, like
you know,
really?
I mean, this is something that's been going on between Israel and them for a while now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now I understand if Russia starts making more of a conflict towards them and all that shit, and is like, yo, you know, if you don't start backing down for Pakistan or whatever else, and it's really pushing into something, because I don't trust Russia. I really don't. I don't trust them. I think if they end up stepping in and doing more than what they do, and they end up taking over Israel for a time being, it's really going to start spreading towards this way.
I think if they took over Israel, they're not going to let it go.
I don't think they will either.
I don't think there's such a thing as a time being for that.
No, well, the reason I say the time being is because they say when the Holy War starts, that's where it's going to start.
Yeah.
Is in Israel. So, before the Holy War starts, Israel will be Israel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's in the Bible. That says, you know, God will start pulling all the Jews back to Israel to prepare for war and all this other stuff, and fucking, so yeah. So, you know, that tells me that if Russia does end up taking over Israel, it's only going to be for a short time, because if God really wants it back, he's going to bring every Jew he can to get it back. So, I mean, don't doubt God is all I'm getting at. You know, if he tells you he's going to do something, he's going to fucking do it.
It's so complicated, because I don't trust the news or any of the news outlets, but I also don't know what to trust, where the information's coming from. And like, I can look on Twitter, or I can look on a fucking Reddit page or whatever, you know, and try to get news like that. But like,
listen to your head. Your head will tell you.
Yeah. I mean, but also, you know, I'm sure I'm not the only one in this boat, but like, you don't want to be wrong either, because it's like, it could be none of our business, but I do believe we should be helping. But I also think that we need to stay the fuck out of it and have gain a clearer understanding first.
I think what we ought, exactly, get a clear understanding of what's going on with both sides of the situation. As far as like what happened with the Pakistan people like that, instead of giving that money to Israel, we should be giving it to them, so that way they could pull these survivors out and at least get them somewhere safe, or the ones that did die, they can at least bury them. You know what I mean? To help the families to get back on their feet that do need it. You know what I'm saying? Israel has enough support from everybody else right now.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Yeah, it seems like everyone's kind of leaving Palestinians out to dry, you know. Like,
so what I guess is what I'm getting at is like, America needs to tell Israel, okay, check this out. We still got your back, okay, but back the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're going to help these people out real quick, because what you did was kind of fucked up. So we want to go in and like at least help them clean this up.
At least help the citizens.
Yeah, you know,
like if you're going to go and do, as Americans or as American military being sent in to do anything, help the people
there to get their fucking shit out. That's and that's what I'm saying. And just tell Israel.
That's the thing with Israel, is like they just created a war zone.
Yeah.
In what's supposed to be a peaceful area. I mean, sure, if there's a base of operations going on underneath that hospital or whatever the fuck that they were claiming,
right?
Okay, you know where it's at, but you're gonna kill innocent people to get to it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm getting at. You know that, like,
I don't agree with that, and it kind of makes me just think like, man, the world is really going to shit if this is really where we're going to be at with this. But I mean, I just pray for them. I mean, I don't have the greatest understanding of everything that's going on in this world, or how people are, or how people work or operate. But like, I feel like as long as you pray for people, eventually people will find their way around shit.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like I try to. I'm getting to a point where being neutral is not good enough, and it's like I try not to throw so much religion into this podcast, only because like I understand that people don't want to hear it or whatever. I'm trying to make it for everybody, but it always circles its way back around. Yeah. And I'm a praying man, and I really hope and I pray that everything works out for them, and everything, you know, that they get the healing that they need, and people get the guidance that they need. You know, just because it's fucking rough hearing about that shit. It was a different year, like fucking 10 years ago when I was a kid, just hearing about shit, you know, like it's just like whatever, we're always at war. But something about it when you get older, or you start to get older, like I'm 27 now, and I mean, to whoever's listening, I know that's probably still young or whatever, but that shit hits different. It's very different when you hear about it now, and it's just,
oh yeah,
like, man, like the older you get, the closer to God you get.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like people they need something to believe in. If they refuse to believe in God or whatever it is, they need to believe in themselves.
Have some kind of, that's what I'm getting at. Have some kind of belief system.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it's God, if it's Buddha, if it's shit yourself, I don't give a damn what it is. Just have some kind of belief system that something is going to happen after you're gone. Yeah. Something is going to happen. And what it is, that's on you when you find it.
I hope it's something good.
It could
be. For most people. I hope it's something great.
It could be. You know, but for some other people, it's not gonna be. Mm-hmm. You know, and I guess that just depends on who the hell you are, and, you know, where you see yourself sitting when that time comes. You know, that's why I try to stay open to everything. You know, I don't know how to say it. I believe in God. I believe there's a higher power, but I'm not like a religious person. You know what I'm saying? I take my lessons from the Bible, and a lot of them make sense. Mm-hmm. A lot of them make sense. Some of them don't. I question the Bible because that's the only book throughout the centuries that has been rewritten. Mm-hmm. And rewritten, and every time it's been rewritten to somebody else's what they think the Bible meant.
As ridiculous as it might sound, I mean, it sounded ridiculous to me before, but like I've even contemplated just picking up Hebrew, you know, or trying to learn how to speak the native language of the Bible, I guess, so that I can learn how to read it and try to get it from the source.
Right.
You know, because it's hard to trust something that's been rewritten, and we're only human. Right. So, and we only understand so much. And if someone who's rewriting things feel like, oh, that doesn't really make sense, so just throw it out.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It doesn't make sense to them, but it's something meaningful. Like,
exactly.
Like when you get the Lost Sea Scrolls, or you get like books that are not in the Bible because they were too much for the Bible, or just not good enough for the Bible, or whatever. It's like, but it was written during that time, and it's you know, supposed to be part of it, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You know. And, you know, so it's hard to believe in, like, certain things with that. But if you look at some of the stories that do happen in the Bible, and you really look at what's going on in your life, you can find the similarity to it.
Yeah. And
you can find out how exactly you're supposed to deal with that later in your life, or even in that situation at the time that you might need it to be in. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And, you know, I mean, that's how I look at it. You know, I don't think God wants everybody to be this perfect person.
Well, it's impossible.
I don't think that's what he's looking for. I don't think he wants you to be so relieved of sin that, you know, it's you know, I don't think that's what he wants. I think what God is really looking at is God wants to see what kind of person you really are. Mm-hmm. How far will you put your hand out to help somebody else? How willing are you to accept what was handed to you because you fucked up in your karma? Mm-hmm. Maybe you didn't treat somebody right, and that's why you're getting slapped with something else. You didn't help out this poor dude, so that's why you got hit with chlamydia for a minute. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, it's the way that karma works. It's what goes around comes around. So I look at it like this. If you're going to be a dick to me, cool, be a dick to me. But don't be surprised when that comes around and slaps you in the face with something that might be 3 times worse than that. When all you had to do is stop and help me with my tire real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's, if you see somebody in need, help them out. You know, it's going to come back to you.
Yeah, God gives back, man. Like,
God,
for real. Like,
and
if you go in, let's like giving to church, like a church that you go to, like that one church, like not being like a church hopper, because I know some people like that too. But like you go to a church that's a church that you become a part of, and you give to the church. I mean, dude, man, God gives back to you.
He does. He does.
Things become easier the more you give yourself, I feel. And like not even necessarily like just money or anything, but like the more of yourself that you give, helping hand and everything, is just things do start to change for you. And I've seen that, and I've seen it both ways, where I've had times in my life where I've given up on people. Like I was just so done with them. I hated people. Was like, fuck this shit, fuck all that. Like, I was just so very antisocial. And but also I realized like that was probably some of the darkest times of my life. Yeah. And like I am a pretty like I'm only social these days. I'm more social when I'm getting paid to be. But like even doing this podcast is a bit therapeutic, I think, because it really brings me out of my shell, and it makes me more welcoming to people. Like, you know, we're in my home right now doing this, and I think it just makes you feel better. And then you feel better, then you start treating other people better. And already, even now, I'm noticing differences. Like, people are now more open to speaking to me now. Mm-hmm. They don't just think I'm some asshole like all the time. Like, not saying I was ever really just an asshole, but like I wore that on my face.
Yeah, oh yeah. People tell me the same thing. You know, why do you always look like you're pissed off? Mm-hmm. Dude, I'm not pissed off. That's my rest face. You gotta remember, dude, I've been through some shit. So anymore, I don't care what people think. Yeah. You know? So, well, people don't want to talk to you because you look like you're always pissed off. Well, I'm 40-something years old. I am a little pissed off. You know, I mean,
my back hurts. Like, shit, I got my legs, my back. You know,
I'm 45 years old. I think I put in enough time to where I can look like I'm a little pissed off. I kind of am. Live through the bullshit I do, and then tell me you're not a little pissed off.
He said with a smile on his face.
You know, I mean, but I also learned too that, yeah, okay, it sucks, you know, but you only get where you're at because you can push yourself a little further. You know, I've been living by myself for 10, 11 years. And, yeah, I see my kids every once in a while. You know, I get to hang out with my daughter every once in a while. But I spend a lot of time by myself, and it's not because I'm not going to date anybody, fuck that, blah, 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 blah. It's because I had a lot of shit I had to work on me. Mm-hmm. How am I going to love somebody else if I can't even love myself? You know, so...
Where are you at these days?
Where do I sit these days?
Yeah.
I'm in love with myself. I can honestly say that. I'm the person that I hoped I would be at my age. I'm more understanding when it comes to shit than I thought I would be, more than what my mom was. You know, and she died when she was 40, you know, 41. But I'm more understanding now than what she was. I'm open to a lot more things than what she was. You know, I look at life a little bit differently than what she did.
That's good.
I'm more happy with it. I can't wait to see what happens whenever I'm in my 60s, in my 70s. I'm excited for it.
That sounds beautiful, honestly. Like, self-love is the best love.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. I'm working on that. I'm trying to get there. and I hope to be there sooner than later. But yeah, man, that's cool.
It takes a whole lot of just sitting down and actually fighting those demons, those ones that, you know, you kind of say, okay, well, if I smoke this bowl, then, you know, I'm not going to hear that voice for a little bit. I down this bottle, oh, it's not nothing I need to stress no more. Then you start looking at yourself in the mirror and you start thinking to yourself, fuck, you know, I'm spending like $60, $70 every fucking 3 or 4 days on a fifth, you know, because I don't know how to deal with this bullshit.
Do you meditate?
Not really. I found other ways to express it. You know, like whenever I first started going through it, you know, it was hard. I did a lot of meditation then. But as I started getting older, I started finding other ways to deal with it. You know, I'm over compulsive when it comes to cleaning my house. I love everything looking like it's in order. Every piece of clothing I have hung up. You know what I mean? All in an order. From the time I washed it to the last time I washed it. All my fresh shit goes in the back. All my old shit comes to the front. I mean...
You're following 5
You know what I'm saying?
First in, first out.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's just the way that I do shit in my own place. My dogs are on a schedule. You know, I'm on a schedule.
How many dogs you got?
2.
What are they?
One is a mix of a blue heeler pit bull. His name is Mike.
You have a dog named Mike?
I have a dog named Mike, but I named him after Mike from on Breaking Bad.
That's the bodyguard, right?
Yeah. He played. I used to have.
Isn't that Sylvester Stallone's brother?
I don't know who he is, but I like him. He's a great
funny-looking guy with he's bald too.
Yeah.
I think that is Sylvester Stallone's brother.
I love that guy. He's great. He's a great actor, and the way that he played the role of Mike in that show was perfect, you know, and that matched his attitude. That whole I don't give a fuck, you know, come fuck with me, let's see what happens. You know, I look tame, I look like I ain't gonna hurt you, but you know, come on, let's find out. You know,
I don't know, man. Mike don't really look tame. I don't think I'd fight him even now. You know?
No, hell no. But you know, I'm just saying he has that attitude. Like, okay, go ahead and fuck with me for a minute. Let's see where it gets you. You know, and he lets you do it for that quick second, and then he's like, bam, and he puts you in check. You know, and then you're like, fuck, and he looks at you like, told you, stupid. You know, and that attitude matched that dog. So I was like, yeah, that's gonna be your name.
That's cool. What's your other dog?
She is a Siberian Husky. She's beautiful. Beautiful baby.
Are the Siberian Huskies, are they the ones with the do they got brown eyes?
No, she's got bright gray eyes.
Gray.
They turn gray and blue. At night they turn like a bright blue, and during the day they turn gray. Pretty good sized dog. Beautiful.
Have you seen them next to a wolf?
Yeah.
Dude, they're tiny next to a wolf. Fucking wolves are fucking massive, man. They're crazy. I seen this meme. They're like, you ain't about these streets, son. Big ass wolf just towering over this fucking husky. Shit's fucking hilarious. I want a wolf, man. I would. I know. I keep hearing like they're like hard to like just have it like as a normal dog, but I think that should be cool.
I think it would be too, because the simple fact, dude, if you get one young enough, you could probably train it to where it's not going to bug out like that. You know what I mean?
I mean, like, get one fresh out the womb, you know, be there when it's born, be the first one to touch it.
That's
the only way I think I would ever have them.
That's what I mean, dude. Like, you got to be there right from the get-go with that fucker, because if you're not, then there's always going to be that wild instinct of, should I eat this motherfucker or should I leave him alone? Yeah. You know what I mean? And I don't think I could trust that shit at the end of my bed, yo, like a wolf looking at me at the middle of the night while I'm trying to sleep.
Yeah, dude, looking like a whole ass rotisserie chicken.
Do I eat this motherfucker now or do I wait till he dies? You know, fuck. You know, I don't want that filling over me, dude, when I'm trying to sleep.
It's crazy how some people could have like fucking panthers or tigers as pets.
I couldn't do it.
Crazy, man.
I couldn't do it.
Oh. It's funny because like my wife, she'll see like, I think, yeah, I know my wife, she'll be like, oh yeah, look at this look at this mountain lion or whatever the fuck like she'll find. She's like, it's so adorable. I want one. I was like, that motherfucker would eat you.
No, you're right.
Like, oh, the thing would kill you. We would never fucking get one like that. And she'll like show me a clip of like this other lady just cuddling it and playing with it, and it's all gnawing on her face, all gentle. I was like, nah, dude, that motherfucker's gonna kill her.
No, hell
Man,
no.
nah, fuck that.
No, like, okay, like, I don't know, like maybe a little monkey or something, dude. You know,
Nah,
I
dude.
could see a little monkey, but you know,
Fuck
not
that. they'll tear your fucking ears off like a little monkey.
Yeah, you know,
Nah.
like something like one of those monkeys that was like in Ace Ventura 2.
No, those things will fuck you up too, man.
You know, like maybe one of those, you know, kind of little monkeys or something like that. I might have one of those, dude, just because those seem like they're pretty cool.
Like
but-
Ross from Friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, you know, like something like that, dude. Hell yeah, you know, I might do something like that, but no, dude, not a cat or like something with big ass teeth that's gonna be looking at me in the middle of the night. Like, dude, I could eat you now if I really felt like it.
I think the most exotic I could get is probably like a bat or like a ferret.
Yeah, I couldn't do a bat.
No?
No, I think that'd scare the hell out of me too much, dude.
Ah, dude, they're adorable. They look like little, I don't know, like they just look like bats, but they're so cool.
Maybe a desert tortoise, you know, one of those big ass ones.
A tortoise?
Yeah, one of those big ass motherfuckers.
One that you can just like ride.
Yeah, dude, you know, maybe one of those, dude. But there's this one lady that has one. She's on TikTok, dude, and I watch her every once in a while. And when that fucker's not in a good mood, dude, it goes after her dog. Yeah, dude.
What the fuck?
Yeah. You know, like, I think about the most, like, exotic pet I ever thought about buying, dude, and it's not even an exotic pet, is a goat.
Goats are cool, man.
And, you know, I thought about buying a goat, and I asked the lady about it that was selling them. I was like, you know, she goes, how many do you want? You know, I can give you 3 or 4, blah, blah, blah. I was like, dude, I only want one. She's like, yeah. And she goes, why, you have other goats? I told her, I said, no, I got 2 dogs. And she goes, okay, well, there's something you need to know about goats. I was like, what? She's like, they're, like, very sociable.
Yeah.
You know, they want to be around, like, you know, other goats. And I told her, I said, okay, well, how would she do with 2 dogs? And she goes, well, she might be all right. I was like, yeah, I don't want to chance that.
Nah, she'd be fine as long as your dogs don't try to eat it.
I don't think my dogs would, dude. I think my dogs would probably try to play with her. Like,
Worst case scenario, I think your goat would try to act like a dog.
yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, that'd be funny as hell to come home and see a goat trying to bark like a dog.
Yeah.
I was like, that'd be kind of fucking weird to see.
We had 2 goats when I was a kid, and it was Jerry and Buck. And fucking, we had so many dogs. And the dogs would always pick on Buck. Buck was the little one, so Buck would be all screaming and shit, just like, ah. And Jerry, whenever he would scream, it always sounded like he was screaming mom. Like, it always sounded like a little kid out there just screaming, mom, mom. But it was Jerry, the fucking goat. And whenever like the dogs were fucking around with Buck, Jerry would come through and he like stick his head in the window and just scream, mom, like, and tell us basically the fucking dogs are trying to kill Buck. It was fucking hilarious, but not killing Buck, but like the way Jerry was. Man, the goats are so fucking cool. And they always like try to like we'll play with our goats and they'll be all like trying to ram us and stuff, and just we'll like tackle them. Like I don't know, man. We had like a little yard too, but we had like so many dogs and just the goats, random ass goats. We're in the middle of a fucking city. And, you know, our house is on the corner, and we had weird dogs too. We had like this I guess she was like a basset hound wiener dog or something, or
yeah.
I don't know, but like she had, and I don't even know how she got pregnant, but she had like a bunch of babies, and they're all running around all over the place. And we had a couple other dogs, and then just 2 random ass goats, and then there was like 1 million kids all in this little fucking house.
Wow.
And in the middle of town, just random as shit, and you just see that house just full of fucking animals, kids, and 2 goats, and the goats are just screaming day and night. It was cool.
I thought about getting a little baby potbelly pig. You know, I think that'd be kind of cool.
A potbelly pig.
Yeah.
I never had one, but I heard that those things don't stay little forever.
No, they have like, you can get them where they'll only get to a certain size, I guess. You know, I want to find like a small, like they call them a mini potbelly pig or some shit. They don't get real big. They get about maybe as big as like maybe a chihuahua. Maybe just a little bit bigger than a Chihuahua.
Man, have you heard about the way pigs adapt in the wild? Apparently, like, you get like a like a pink hairless pig or whatever the fuck, like the one that you'll see on like whatever cartoon or movie. And I guess if you release it out in the wild, in like as little as like 2 months, it's a boar, full of like brown hair, tusks and shit. And it becomes massive, just adapts fast as shit if it doesn't die.
Dude, why aren't we putting more pigs out there like that so we can have wild boar hunts? I mean,
that'd be dope, right? But also, I don't know, because I seen this. I follow some hunters on Instagram, and this dude took down a boar. But I shit you not, this boar was like probably as big as this table.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Like, they're fucking huge.
I mean, so like you get these people that are saying like, oh, you can't go boar hunting because of this and this and that. Well, motherfucker, release a few of these fuckers out there like before, like 3-4 months before hunting season. Let them get nice and fat and fucking build it up, and you have plenty for your hunt.
I don't know.
That makes sense to me. I mean,
I don't know. I don't know the rules or anything. There's a lot of shit that I don't know. I'm not even gonna pretend to know. Like,
it was like,
I mean, that'd be cool, right? Like, I would love
like,
to
I
go
don't understand the whole fucking organic thing.
What do you mean?
I don't get it.
Like, what makes it organic?
Yeah, because if you're growing it from a seed and it's in the soil, isn't that organic?
I think the organic shit goes bad faster. I think it doesn't have all the sprays and stuff that keeps the bugs off. Everything that kills the bugs in the normal food is what you're eating. So that makes it inorganic. Because
but they tell you before you eat all that shit anyway, take it home and wash it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're washing all that shit off it anyway.
Are you?
Am I what, organic?
No, what I'm saying is like people, like honest to God, like, I mean, yeah, you get a couple here and there that are washing their shit, but really?
Do I?
I've seen people at work, like, just grab an apple and just take a big old bite and set it back, and then I gotta go clean it up, but...
No.
You know?
Well, I guess it depends on what I'm buying. I mean, but like apples and all that shit, dude, yeah, I wash them before I eat them. You know, potatoes, yeah. You know, that kind of thing. But potatoes, you kind of have to unless you feel like eating dirt anyway.
I don't know. I something about the whole experience with COVID kind of tells me that people don't want. If you're not washing your hands, I don't think you're really washing your fruits and vegetables either. I don't know, like, if not that I like ever started like watching people, but like I notice a lot of people don't wash their hands, like after using the bathroom and stuff, and maybe I don't know, I didn't really start noticing or care to notice till after COVID hit, and then I was just like, wow, you guys are pretty fucking gross. Like, why? What the hell's the matter with you? Wash your fucking hands.
Yeah.
I'll go to a friend's house and stuff, and like they don't wash their hands for like when like I'll see that like they'll go and like start making food or whatever, like that's what I'm there for, you know, we're having dinner and stuff, and I see them, we're chopping it up, talking, they're smoking a cigarette and stuff, we're all outside, they're all fucking around with their dogs, go straight to the kitchen, pull the meat out and just start cooking, don't wash their hands. I don't know, I feel like it's a rare thing now, like, to actually see people wash their hands.
Don't get me wrong, dude. I mean, like, a lot of the time, if I'm eating my own shit, dude, most of the shit I buy, dude, goes straight from the fucking freezer to the oven anyway, dude, because I don't want to take the time to actually cook. But when I do actually take the time to cook, dude, I make sure that I prep my food the same way I would if I was behind in the kitchen prepping up food. You know what I mean? I want to make sure everything looks decent and everything's cleaned off. And meats, you got to be especially careful with, because if you cook it doesn't matter what meat, you cook it the wrong way, you're going to either make somebody sick or you're going to kill somebody. You know, I mean, simple logic. So you want to think to yourself, okay, well, if I'm going to wash my hands at work because I'm serving chicken, I sure as hell am going to wash my hands at home because I'm serving steak. And I don't care if it's just me or if it's me and my family. You know what I'm saying? You should prep your food the same way that you would if you were anywhere else prepping it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, you don't go and like chop up a bunch of chicken, like raw chicken, and go and start frying it in the pan, and then go and use that same cutting board and knife to start chopping up lettuce and stuff for a salad.
Right.
But when like cross contamination with across foods is bad, but like cross contamination like dog hair or whatever the fuck.
Right.
A dog, it will eat its own shit if it smells good.
Yeah.
You know. So like the dog's like licking their hands and stuff or whatever, and then they just go straight to the kitchen and start cooking. Like that's why I don't go out much anymore. Like I don't go to people's houses to eat or nothing. Like I don't do dinners. I'll invite people over because I know that I wash my hands and I'll do it all right there in front of you on the on the very table we're eating at, you know.
Yeah.
But I also understand though why people don't go out and go eat other people's food, because I don't know, like while a lot of ridiculous shit happened with COVID, it also just made me aware of a lot of shit like that, like the uncleanliness, like the habits that people had, habits that I had too, you know, like just made me change some shit about how I navigate through life now. You know?
Yeah.
Like I don't just shake hands with just anybody anymore.
No, I feel you on that one, dude. I really do.
No, people are interesting, for sure. I'll say that. They're cool.
A person is smart, people are stupid. A person is smart, people are stupid. It's the easiest way to say it. One person can think of 1,000 ways to help solve all the problems in the world, but you put a group of people together and they turn retarded. And it's because nobody wants to hear anything anyone else has to say.
I wonder if we'll get any hate for that on this on this podcast.
I'm just saying that's actual fact, though. If you really want to look through history at it that way. Mm-hmm. One person can figure out a way to solve the problems for the entire world, but you put a group of people together to do the same thing and they all come up with stupid answers. Every one of them. Why do you think we don't have world peace now? Can't agree on shit. But there's one person that knows the solution to all of it, and nobody wants to hear it.
Yeah, it's like the cure for cancer somewhere out there.
Mm-hmm.
But you make too much money off sick people, so I'm getting nowhere with that.
And it's sad because if you don't have money, you don't have a say.
Yeah. That's
but you know,
true.
if you really want to look at our Declaration of Independence, that's how it was written anyway. If you were rich, you were the ones that got to make the rules. Mm-hmm. If you weren't, then fuck everybody else. It wasn't really written for every person in the United States the way that they try to make, the way they taught you in school. If you really look at the Declaration, it means anybody who owns property or has livestock is what it was really pointing out to. So if you have money or you have something to contribute, then yeah, it's for you. But if you're cleaning up the barn and your boss tells you to go piss off because of this or this and this, or you know you don't have the right for this and this and this and that, then that's your problem, not his.
It's crazy how like you get people like Elon Musk that want to focus on people talking to each other telepathically. Let's insert chips into the brains. Let's do all these trials and stuff. Let's like the electric car thing is cool, you know, until you need to be somewhere and government don't want you to be somewhere, so they just shut your car down.
Yeah.
But is that how it's gonna be for your brain? Shut you down, or like they want to put all their time and energy and effort. All these rich people, they want to do that. Jeff Bezos wants to make Lord of the Rings, whatever, you know. But we can't make it a law to like have a community garden.
Yeah.
Or we can't grow fruit trees down the streets in public, like Main Street, whatever, so that people would just have fresh fruit right there available. Homeless people have food to eat, you know, like all these abandoned buildings here, just in town alone, and there's no housing or like better places than whatever shelters here in town for like homeless people. Yeah, like, there's a lot of focus on the wrong things, I feel.
Yeah,
in this
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
It's like you could be putting your money in a lot better places. Like, how come? What I want to know is how come we don't have a fucking train that takes us from the West Coast to the East Coast?
Yeah.
With all the little stops in between. Doesn't Japan have some fucking like bullet train that takes it from one end of Japan to the other?
I think so. Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know exactly, but something like that, right? Like, how come we're not doing shit like that? How come we're not trying to like all this open space in New Mexico, and solar power, wind power? We're not embracing that.
It's fucked up, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't understand everything, but
yeah, money plays a big role in that, and you know what our country's doing right now is they've been screwing everything over, and you know, I mean, things used to be so much better.
What, before the internet?
Before Biden.
Oh.
Everything used to be so much better. Oh, I'm telling you. Life could have been so much better.
Talking about like before Biden when we had Trump.
Yeah.
So were you a Trump supporter?
Yeah, I still am.
What do you like about Trump?
I like the fact that he brought the jobs back that he said he was going to. Almost everything that he said that he was going to do in office, he did or he started. And I thought that was really great. I thought to myself, you know, nobody has done this since Reagan. You know, he did a good job. I mean...
What do you think about everything that's going on with him now? How many life sentences does he got thrown at him?
I don't know. I don't know. I know when he comes back, it becomes president, that everything will get better again.
You really think he's got a shot?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Who is that DeSantis guy? He's like...
He's a little weird.
he's like... Well, he's from Florida, right?
Yeah.
He's like Trump 2.0.
No, he's...
Right?
Well...
Right, from what I understand, he's like a nicer... he's like a Trump that knows how to like articulate his words a little
yeah,
better.
and that's not going to help anybody because he's going to turn out to be another Biden. I almost see it.
You think so?
I think so. I really do. I really think he's going to end up just doing what some of the people want to hear him. He's going to help, but he's not going to...
How has, if you don't mind me asking, how has Biden's actions or choices as president affected your life?
Really, other than the fact that I got to pay more for gas, it hasn't really affected it much at all. But, I mean, just me having to pay for gas also means I got to pay more for my food, which means I can't really take the time off that I want to. You know what I mean? I mean, I got to put every dime I get into my house. You know, Christmas is coming up and I got $11 saved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, it wasn't a big deal. I could have fucking went out and bought gifts for everybody in my house and not have to worry about shit.
Well, the thing about Christmas is everyone, I feel like everyone just makes it all about gifts. And to me, Christmas is not all about gifts. It kind of like I feel like it meant one thing 10 years ago, and now it's so like, I mean, I'm sure it was all about gifts then too, but like even as a kid, it always felt wrong, or I felt very awkward receiving gifts that are just gifts, like receiving something that like I didn't work for, you know, or didn't earn myself. Like you get gifts on your birthday, that's cool, but getting presents or for Christmas when you're told, like I was told Christmas is Jesus' birthday.
Right.
And yeah, I know Jesus wasn't born in the winter or whatever that they described the time he was born, but I'm pretty sure back then there was only like 10 months in a year or something like that. But like I was told that it was about Jesus, it was about family being together, it was about just being present, eating good food. You know, you get a gift here and there to share or whatever, but now it's just all I see is like gifts, toys, and gimme type of attitude about it. You know, like they're like I see so much deals like everywhere about
Christmas has been commercialized since I was a kid, dude,
like,
and since before that, dude.
It's so
you know?
whack, man. Like
It is, and it's funny because whenever you start hitting like your age, you start thinking about that type of shit, dude. But you know what happens after all that, dude? Your kids grow up, and then your grandbabies step up in your life, and you're like, oh, guess what I'm doing again?
Yeah. Probably.
Let me go grab them gifts because I know them grandbabies they gonna love these things.
Well, not to be a Scrooge or a Grinch or anything, but the way I do it with my kids is like they each get a couple gifts from me and their mother, and then they'll get like some gifts from their grandparents on both sides and stuff. And I mean, I think that's enough.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I'm not gonna go and like I'll splurge on them on their birthday, but also on their birthday, I make sure that they understand that their mother gave birth to them.
Yeah.
So thank your mom.
Yeah.
You know, that's also her day too. Like maybe get your mom a card on your birthday because it wouldn't be your birthday without her.
Yeah.
You know, that's something
Go get your mom a card that says, hey, thank you. You know, you didn't have to do what you did, but, you know, yeah, no, I feel you on that.
You know, like, I feel like every child's birthday should also be a little bit of a Mother's Day type of thing too, you know, because you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your mother.
That's Mother's Day kind of thing.
I feel like mothers need to be celebrated a lot more than they really are.
Some do.
Well,
some do. There's some of those girls that are just out there to pump out the babies because they want the welfare check behind it. They don't give a fuck what happens to the kid.
Well, when I say things like that, I really hope that the mothers who are actually mothers know that they're the ones who I'm talking about. And I like to think that a terrible mother, I guess, or someone who's just a terrible fucking mom, right? They know who they are, you know. Like a terrible father, like a deadbeat or whatever. You know who you are. You know I'm not talking to you. You know, like it. But there's a lot of like. I have a lot of respect for mothers, and I do too. I just feel like, you know, a child's birthday. Like I think about my mom on my birthday, and I think about how I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her, and that terrible day that she went through, 27 years ago. I was a complicated ass child coming out, so yeah. I feel like mothers deserve more than just Mother's Day.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of where I go with my kids. Is like I just try to, like birthdays and stuff. That's the time that you get your gifts. But Christmas, Thanksgiving, like for me, Christmas is almost like a Thanksgiving part 2.
Because you're with family again and eating and all that good shit.
Yeah.
I feel you, dude.
It's just a splash of gifts. You get pretty little lights. You get, you know, it's Christmas time. You're drinking cocoa, watching Christmas movies. I like the activities that you're doing together with family. Like Thanksgiving is like you're all getting together to eat, but I feel like there's activities and stuff involved with Christmas.
Right.
And just keep family together. So I don't like doing the whole splurging on so many gifts and doing what everybody else basically does or wants you to do, what corporates like Target and shit want you to go and do. Like just buy all the new fucking video games and consoles and toys, and it puts a lot of pressure on you, especially since I feel like Christmas time comes around when you're struggling financially.
Yeah.
It's always the same shit every year too. You try as much as you try to prepare, something always happens.
Yeah.
Shit hits the fan and you're just fucked.
Yeah, yeah.
But you're and then there's that pressure which oftentimes puts people into debt, just to buy gifts, when really, I think the biggest gift that people take for granted today is just having a family, having people be there for them, and being able to share good moments with them, like watching a Christmas Story or watching the cheesiest stupid fucking movie in the world, but doing that with family.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people that don't even have that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, like me, for instance, a lot of the time on the holidays, all I do is stay at home and watch TV by myself. Mm-hmm. I don't let it bother me because, you know, I know that I have a daughter that lives out in Edgewood. You know, we do get to talk, but she spends all those major holidays with her mom. You know, her mom and I don't get along, so it's better if we're not in the same room together. Mm-hmm. But, you know, like, Halloween is kind of like our Christmas, Thanksgiving. You know, we spend the whole time together. We take the kids out, we go trick-or-treating, and then, you know, we get them home, get them in bed, or they go to their dad's house, and then, you know, her and I get to sit down, have a few drinks, and, you know, shoot the shit, and spend the night, you know, talking like that until we either A, get too drunk and we pass out, or B, you know, we both decide, okay, enough's enough, it's time to go to bed. You know, and then I go lay down, she goes lay down, the next morning, get up, have breakfast, work off our hangovers, and then kick it for the afternoon.
Working off a hangover. Oh, man. Yeah. Actually, that sounds nice. You know, it sounds like you guys have at least a decent relationship as far as working, spending Halloween together. I love Halloween, man. That and like I feel like that's the holiday where you could just you could go any way. You can just spend it all with your kids, and then they go to sleep, and it's party time, you know, and everyone's all dressed up, and it's cool. I like Halloween a lot. Then you get all the scary movies and shit. I'm like a scary movie addict though.
Yeah, me too.
Like it's gotten to the point, like, I don't know if it's because I have my wife with me, but like I don't get scared of movies anymore, and we start calling it out. The last movie that actually made me fucking jump was La Llorona, and that's because I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a scene, it's not a spoilery to the story or anything, but it's just what made me jump. Like I made a little bitch sound, like fucking you're looking at her through like a chain link fence, and you're like kind of like, what the fuck is she doing? And then suddenly she just comes out of the corner of the fucking screen and screams at you, and it fucking made me jump.
That's crazy.
And instantly, because like we rented that movie, and I was like, I'm buying it. It fucking made me jump. That shit was cool. I plan on watching the new Exorcist movie though pretty soon. That shit looks terrifying.
I can't wait. I actually ran into somebody, that one of the girls that we work with at work, and she asked me if I had ever seen the original, and I looked at her and I told her, I said, of course I have. And she goes, that movie scared the shit out of me. And I told her, I said, yeah, it kind of made me laugh. And she goes, what the hell is wrong with you? I was like, oh, well, you know, I've been watching scary movies since I was like fucking 5-6 years old. I've been watching scary movies.
I understand that now. Like, I remember before this whole scary movie journey, I guess, like I was I'd be terrified. I find no humor or nothing. But now, after watching it so fucking much, like the Paranormal Activity movies, I know some people that are scared shitless of those movies. I fall asleep to those. I watch them and I'm like, they ain't shit, or I'll make fun of them, like, look at this dumb bitch. You know, you thought, now you're being dragged away. You know, like it's fucking hilarious.
Me and my ex-wife watched the remake of the Annabelle horror, and I fell asleep during it.
Yeah.
I passed out. She was wide awake the rest of the time,
Scared
watching the movie by herself because she didn't know I was passed out. And then the next morning I got up and I told her, it got late that night, and I told her, I said, hey, can we, finish watching Annabelle horror? She looks at me and goes, what are you talking about? We watched it last night. I was like, no, I fell asleep like a half hour into it. I was like, so, do you mind if we watch it? And she was like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? Hell no, we're not watching that again. You were asleep. What the hell? Yeah, dude. It turned into a big old argument about it.
Would you ever write or direct a horror movie?
I think I would, but I think that if I did it, I would have to write it, direct it, and produce it all on my own. It'd be one of those projects I'd look at Corey and be like, yes, I want your help with it, but you have to understand everything is in my hands.
Yeah, you have to have full creative
control. Yeah, I want the whole, everything that goes down, I want it to go down exactly the way that I want it to.
That's how I feel, like, because I'm big into photography, and I like to make videos and stuff, and I feel like if I were to direct, I would have to have the full control. Writing a little bit different. I would my sister and I, we get together and we just write stories. We write stories. We'll make up scenarios and stuff, and we have like a little universe that we kind of create. But but we always talked about doing a horror, like we create so many characters, right?
Right.
And we have a specific character that it's just straight up horror, and we've drawn it up. We've drawn scenes. I've written whole like part 1s, 2s, and 3s stories for them, and it started off as like this person was a villain, you know, to just another character story, but then it started growing out of that, and then became a character study on this specific person and how it came to be, and then it just turned into the main character. But the reason why I asked if you would ever do it, or if you would ever make your own horror, because basically would you ever, if you did it, would you do it like it's would you try to keep it low budget, and would you try to go practical? Because that's something I always felt like I would try to do. I would try to intentionally, like the first James Wan, what's it called? Saw, the first Saw movie, all shot in one room. Like the way that he filmed that movie.
Yeah.
Like he kept it all about story. It was all done in one fucking room.
Yeah.
And it like almost no money.
Yeah. No, if I could find, like, if I had the budget to know that I could put the special effects into, like, just, like, being in one spot like that, then hell yeah, I could definitely write a movie like that, you know. I'd definitely write a movie about, you know, something like that. You know, and...
Have you had any ideas?
None
that you have to talk about, like, you don't have to openly, like, say what those are, but, like...
No, I've had a couple different ones, but I got inspired from, like, have you ever seen The Cube?
No, I haven't.
And that's a movie, dude, that, like, it blew my fucking mind. Like, these people get trapped in this, like, thing, and they have to figure out how to get the hell out of it. And if you go through the wrong door, like, wrong shit will fucking, like, cut you in half and, like, shit like that. Or fucking, yeah, dude. Or fire will come out and fucking, like, torch your ass.
What the hell?
It's a really fucking whack-ass movie. There's another one called The Circle. It's kind of the same thing. If you can't, like, answer the right question, or if you can't fucking, like, tell the truth about something that really happened or something, dude, it's been a minute since I've seen it. The fucking thing kills you. You get electrocuted and you die off. And the last person standing in the circle wins. It's weird-ass movies, you know, that are like that. Dude, there are small budget ones like that.
In some ways, I always felt like doing horror movies... like independent horror films are much easier to do. They're much easier to do rather than like if you can't make, like, I feel like you can't make an action movie in Socorro. Like an independent action movie, like me or you, we got together, it'd be really hard to do that, I feel, because you need budget, and it's really hard to get something picked up like that for a local film, for people to pitch in, and then you get the actors to want to be actors, first of all, like to get the people to come and film and stuff. I just feel like when it's a horror movie, you can kind of, like, especially if you're trying to get into the mind of a character or something, like, I think it's just easier to have, like, or setting up a more narrow path, I guess. Right. I feel like it's just something like that would be simpler, unless you did like a drama, right? Like, yeah. If it was more...
Yeah, if you did it more like a drama, you could probably spread it out into something. I mean, like, you could do a horror movie, like a one-shot horror movie, like, same thing like what you're saying, right out here in the desert.
Yeah.
And, you know, play it off like that, too. You know, I mean, there's plenty of ways to go about it, but if I had the budget to do something like that, then, yeah, I could see, like, something like this, you know, playing it out and then doing a movie into it and then all that shit. Yeah, then, yeah. I'd use the budget for the special effects as far as the blood and, like, whatever else might happen, you know, or if somebody's hand's coming off, or, you know, someone's chest accidentally gets ripped open.
Would you try to go a more practical route or CG?
Probably CG. Green screens are the way to go with a lot of shit. So it's easier to get a lot of those shots that you need done, and then you can angle them exactly the way you need them.
Yeah, I guess with a lot of practical effects, you're kind of one and done. And
yeah, you know,
takes
like
a
if
whole
you
day
had
to prepare all over again.
exactly,
Yeah.
you know, like if I'm going to cut your neck off, you know, cut your neck and see you bleeding all over the place instead of doing the actual makeup and all that and trying to get one shot on it, it's easier to just take a foam sword with a green fucking thing on it and fucking hit you in the neck with it and then come in and fucking put the bloodline across, you know, and then see you drop dead. It's easier that way. Cheaper too.
Is it really?
I think so. Because if you fuck it
I mean,
up,
well,
then,
I mean, if you do, well, I guess it's, I don't know. You get what you pay for.
because if you fuck up the shot, you know, with the actual makeup, then you have to go back and redo that whole scene again, and then you know you're paying your makeup artist by the hour, not by by what they're fucking doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it'd just be easier to take that same cut of money and go, okay, well, let's see what we could do with CG and bring out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Some things might not work, so you could actually drop it right there on the editing floor and fit something together that will work with it. You know what I mean? It's just a lot easier to do it that way.
Do you know how to how to film a scene and make it look like a movie? Like, you know how you get some people that are like they'll go and do filming, like a lot of independent, like on YouTube and stuff. You'll see like they're making movies, but it looks like I'm recording it, like on my phone, or like on like you could tell it's being recorded on a normal camera that you buy at like Target or whatever, like.
You could buy filters for those cameras. Like I have a regular VH camera, you know, a little small standard camera. And with mine, I can set it into modes that say like theater mode, that say, you know, movie mode, home mode, you know, all that stuff. It depends, you know, go through your filters and do it that way. And then when you hook it up to your laptop, you can go through and do it again and just edit it all out the way you need it to.
So it's all just lighting and filtering?
Pretty much.
Well, man, movies be getting it right then these days. That's cool. So, like...
but where you're spending your money is you're spending a lot of your money into the cameras, the lights, the green screens, you know, the props, the fucking editing, you know, the editing equipment, the studio time that you need, the voices, the actors, you know, all that shit. All of it all ends up going into cost.
What's inspiring you to make movies?
Corey. You want the straight out truth on it, Corey. Corey's the one that brought it more to my attention. I mean, it's something I've always thought about doing as a kid, but when he came to me and told me, he said, well, I have part of the equipment. You got the know-how. Let's do this. So I was like, fuck it, let's do this.
How long have you been writing?
The one script that I've been writing, I've been working on for 3 years because it hits me in spurts the way that I want to write it out. Mm-hmm. And I just vision what it is and then just, boom, it comes out on paper.
Well, you can't rush art, so yeah, you take your time with that. That's how I am with a lot of my stuff too. Yeah. But how long have you been writing all together?
Since I was a kid. Like I've been writing short stories and like the long stories and all kinds of shit since I was a kid. Like some of the stories I wrote for school, my mom told me that I copied off another kid, and I was like, no, that's what came out of my head. She's like, there's no fucking way.
Do you have a favorite genre of what you like to write, or is it just
whatever hits me, whatever feels good whenever I'm writing it out?
Oh, shit.
It just inspires. Yeah, it hits me. It inspires me, and I'm like, okay, shit. And I'll write it out. If it's a small little short story, then I look at it and I'll think about it and fucking write it out the way that I think it needs to sound. Then I'll go through it and check it out myself and see if there's anything I need to change in it. 9 times out of 10 when I did that in school, I'd get an A whenever I wasn't good in English at all. But everything looked good. It would just pop out and I'd write it out. Longest time, my parents couldn't understand what the fuck was wrong with me. Then I tried to tell them, I was like, I don't know. It just hits me like a vision. Like I'll go to bed and I'll have this dream and this story will hit me and I wake up in the morning and I write the whole thing down.
So I have a question, and I just because I was told that you were doing this. Mushrooms.
Yeah.
You grow?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I have sprouts. I noticed them yesterday.
Really?
My.
I was told you're. I'm just saying, your nephew Brandon. he was telling me that you got a whole kit.
I did. I got 2 of them. I have $200 invested in mushrooms.
And it's all coming together.
The first batch is the first 100. The second 100 still isn't doing anything.
So how do you know? Are you studying on what's poisonous, what's not, or like?
Oh no, these ones are safe. I bought them all straight from the dispensary.
Oh really?
Yeah, I bought the spores, I bought the kit, I bought everything straight from the dispensary. So everything is on the legit with them.
Is this your first time growing them?
No.
Or I don't know.
No.
Anything you don't feel comfortable asking, because I don't cut or edit. So, anything you don't feel comfortable answering, whatever I'm asking.
No, this isn't my first go around with mushrooms.
Okay. All right. Now, are they the mushrooms I'm thinking they are?
They are magic mushrooms.
Okay, cool.
Yes, they
so
are
you're on
magic
some
mushrooms.
Super Mario shit.
Yeah, I'm growing a strand that's called Jedi Mindfuck. So we'll see. They're the ones that just started sprouting. So it should be about another 4 to 6 weeks before they're ready.
Dude, I 100% believe that that mushrooms need to be the next thing legalized. Because they just legalized marijuana on a recreational level here in New Mexico. Mm-hmm. And I think, at least for medical, mushrooms should be looked at to be legalized, because it's been shown to cure, or maybe not. I don't know. I'm being told it's curing depression.
I don't know. It opens my mind and I see things at what it really is. That's why I use them. When I need to, when I'm going through some shit and I'm not sure exactly where I sit on an issue, I'll do some mushrooms and then I'll wait for them to kick in, and everything becomes a lot more clearer. So that's what I use it for. It helps me to actually make my decisions on what I'm doing with certain things in my life.
How long have you
done mushrooms?
Yeah, done mushrooms. I'm trying to find a way to talk about it without villainizing it, because I feel like if I say use it or do them or whatever, anyone who's listening can. I don't know.
Get the way they want to.
Yeah, that's essentially the idea, right? Take this how you want to, but at the same time, I really believe that there's some true, really good benefits that come from mushrooms.
I gotta say, I've been using mushrooms for probably close to about 20, 22 years. Off and on. Off and on, a here and there type of thing, if they're ever available, and is that why you kind of want to? Is that why you want to grow them, so that you have them? Yeah, pretty much. Really, pretty much. Because you could dehydrate your mushrooms and put them away, and they're good for almost 2 years. So it's well, shit, if I have an ounce of mushrooms and I'm going through some shit and I can't really make my mind up on it, it's nice to have that trip so I can go, okay, you know what, this is the direction that nature's telling me to take. My karma's telling me, okay, this the road you're on, take this road.
Yeah.
That's what I use it for. It helps direct my life the way that I need it to roll. I think if it wasn't for mushrooms and marijuana, I'd be an old, grumpy, pissed off old man. I really do. I feel my life is, I'm not as grumpy. I'm more open to shit. You know what I mean? I'm willing to listen. If my granddaughter...
You're more relaxed.
Yeah. When my daughter came to me and told me that she was pregnant, I told her, I said, okay, so what are we doing? Mm-hmm. And she told me, she goes, what do you mean? I told her, I said, well, are you keeping the baby? Are you giving it up for adoption? What are your options? What are you doing? Why are you taking this so good? What do you want me to do? I can yell at you, but let me ask you something. Is that going to make you any less pregnant? Well, no. Okay, so why am I going to do that? Mm-hmm. I'm wasting my voice and yelling at you for what? You know what you did? What do I need to yell at you for? Tell me what your mind is telling you now. Mm. What are you doing now? We know you fucked up.
Now, right?
We know you fucked up. You're 16, but 16 and pregnant, you ever seen that show? You know what I'm saying? So what's your mindset at,
Yeah.
And it's opened
Just
me
be
up.
there for her, right?
Right, you know? So that's what it's done for me. It's made me open my mind and say, okay, what's the point of getting on her about something that she did when there's nothing that you're going to say that's going to change the effects of it?
And honestly, it's like, now she, I don't know where I am. I don't want it to sound like I'm passing judgment, but the moment you find out you're pregnant, when you're a teenager, is the moment you become an adult.
Right.
Because then you become responsible for another life.
Right.
So yeah, no point. Yeah, I'm getting upset like that, and I suppose that's probably how I'd handle it if any of my kids ended up having a child at a younger age.
You know, I mean, was I mad about it? Sure I was. What dad wouldn't be?
Yeah. You'd be upset, definitely, but like at the same time,
you have to learn how to be a little understanding. And if I wasn't using mushrooms at that time, I don't think I would have been that understanding about it.
So it's made you more open-minded?
Yeah, it's made me, whoa, hold on a minute. Remember, you were you were close to this age too when you had her, dude. So, sit back a minute and think to yourself, chill, yeah, she's 3 years younger than what you were, but calm down, homie. You're in the same boat she is. And it made me look at my life and go, shit, okay, you know what, you're right. Fuck.
And
okay.
when she told you, were you high on the mushrooms, or were you?
No.
It was just
yeah, this was just something that happened, like maybe a couple weeks after, that prior experience to it, it's hard to explain. Mushrooms not only take you to where you see different things too, but they make that. It depends on the type of trip that you're having with them. And if you're having a spiritual trip to it, you feel good. You see what's going on with you. You see what's going on with your future. And then you try to see where you're at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to accept all of that's being thrown at you at that time, dude, is kind of hard sometimes. Sometimes it's overwhelming, so you only accept certain parts of it, and that's why you go back. So you can finish understanding the whole thing. And then when you start understanding it more, it's more like, okay, I see the level of what karma's trying to show me. Mm-hmm. Now, what do I do with it?
Yeah.
How do I show this through the universe? So it's made me more understanding to when people are going through their own shit. It's made me to where I'm more like, okay, well, fuck, dude, that I've been in that same boat. Like a lot of the shit you were telling me earlier, I've been through a lot of that bullshit. I've seen a lot of that shit myself, and that's why I had to get away from it. That's why I chose karma, because it started showing me a different path that wasn't that way. And I ended up where I am now, and I'm pretty happy with it.
That's good, man. That's nice.
I'd look at my life now, dude. I have my own spot. I can pay my own bills. I have internet. What's funny? If I want to buy bacon, I can go to the store and buy bacon. I couldn't do that shit 4 or 5 years ago. If I wanted bacon, I had to wait 2 fucking weeks before I could go get bacon. Now I can just go, you know what, fuck it, I want bacon. I'm going to go get some bacon real quick. I've never had that opportunity.
Little things like that, the smallest things ever in life
are the most gratifying.
Yeah.
And like every night now, I'm able to go home from work, buy me a 6-pack of beer and a pack of smokes. Comes out to about $21. I spend about $60, $70 a week just on beer and cigarettes sometimes. And I can do that.
And be comfortable.
Yeah, and know that it's not affecting anything that's going to happen with my living.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I've never had that comfort before. I've never been able to go, you know what, I got $20 left in my pocket and all my bills are paid. Well, buy me a pack of cigarettes and a 6-pack. Hell with this. I can do that now. And it doesn't affect it. I'm still getting my bills paid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's the little tiny things that I look at like that throughout my day, and I take blessings on that. And I'm like, shit, okay, that's what I've learned from fucking doing mushrooms. It's little things.
Yeah.
You see things completely different. You look at life completely different. You understand what's going on between you and nature a lot more. I do.
I'm really excited to see your vision through your films that you're making when you start releasing and get it all out there. That's going to be very interesting. You're basically seeing your perspective on screen.
Oh wait, because this is nothing. I have a lot of stuff that's going to be coming to the screen that's going to make you sit there and think to yourself, what the fuck is really going on in this dude's head? Like, this motherfucker is weird. Like, what the he makes Johnny Depp look normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, dude, I got some shit that's in my head, dude, that I got brewing up that for some weird ass stories that I really want to put out there. I got a few different ones. People are going to look at things and be like, all right, fuck, this is going to suck. And then right, like, not even halfway into it, boom, you're like, whoa, hold on a minute, what the fuck's going on? The fuck? What did I miss, dude? Because, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's it's going to be one of those movies.
Would you ever write a book?
Oh, yeah. I've tried a few times, but I always get lost into it, and I never end up finishing it.
Like, because you don't know how to finish it, or?
No, just because I lose the story, and I'm just like, okay, whatever, and then I'll leave it alone for a while, and then, like, something happens, and my computer crashes, and then I'm like, well, you know what? It wasn't meant to be. Maybe next time.
Well, I think we should get ready to wrap things up. Is there anything you want to say? Anyone you want to follow you or anything online? Trash Talk on Facebook, right?
Just keep an eye out for us. We are going to be back around the time that Trash Talk starts coming back. I'll start putting the word out there so everybody knows what to look for and when to look for it. Just keep your airways open for it, because the way it looks, it might happen soon. Just hoping so.
That's good. I'm excited.
We are too. Me and Dope have a lot in store, and we got a lot of stuff coming up on that show. A lot of stuff that we've been working on for it, and we want to make the second episode a lot bigger than what we started with, because that first episode was a disaster. But for some reason, everybody fucking loved it.
Man, I wish I was there for that. Man. I'm excited for everything you guys are going to be dropping and releasing, because I know Corey's got music on the way. You guys got your projects coming up, and you guys got your podcast ready. You're going to be streaming soon.
Yeah.
You guys got a lot going on.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. And, it's cool because things like that, hearing fresh perspectives from people in town. You guys there's a lot of creativity going on. Mm-hmm. And everyone, I feel like I know I'm connected to so many people that are all creative types. Everyone's in music, everyone's writing, doing trying to get something off the ground, and people at the farmers market, you need to go down there, man, because I'm telling you, it's like walking into the world of Skyrim sometimes. Like, you got fucking music going, people trading, bartering, whatever, selling stuff, and just good vibes all around. But man, there's just a lot of really cool people here, and I want to be able to get everybody, all those people. I want to hear their stories, and I want to hear hear from their point of view on shit, and just just do what we're doing now, just chop it up and talk about everything. And I really feel like if enough people get to do this, and enough people hear each other, a lot more people will be willing to work with each other and stuff.
Oh yeah, dude, I agree with you 110.
So yeah, no, dude, this has been really nice. Thank you for coming on, and episode 3, Life at Night, comes to a close now.